I'm Matt Bronger. This might help.
I am not a doctor.
This might help.
I'm not a professional.
Let's have fun. This honestly is a good time.
Honestly, I got no idea what I'm doing. What's going on, Corey?
I'm Matt Bronger. This might help. The podcast.
Hey, welcome to This Might Help with Matt Bronger, the only advice podcast you'll ever need in your whole goddamn worthless life. Guys, listen, thanks for calling in and giving us all these calls. It's been amazing, and boy, I hope they help. If you need clinical help, this is not the place. This is for fun. Speaking of fun, one of the funniest people I've ever known in my life is on the show, Blaine Capatch. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me.
You have a puppet.
It's not a puppet. It's a friend. Hey, I see you walking across the street every now and then.
You do?
Yeah, on Hillhurst.
Oh yeah.
I'm not zeroing in on your witness relocation gig, am I?
No. Yeah, we're in the same hood, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never see you guys.
I wear sunglasses.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see me.
Nice. The old Clark Kent. How are you holding up these days?
I'm doing good. I think we're good. It's my wife is here. She works. My son is here. He's 7 in second grade online.
Okay.
And I'm here too.
Yeah, I think we have a similar situation in that, but except your kid is older and thus more self-sufficient.
And you have a daughter. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And how old now?
She's 4 months.
Oh man. Little potato.
Little potato. I just keep her good night. It's pretty. It's. I don't know. It's pretty. I mean, I love it. It's pretty fantastic. But
It's a good gig.
It is. It's keeping me going because I'm just like, this is my job now. Because like your wife, my wife works all day. Here, where I am right now, in the back office, back room of our house, we've changed into an office. Is now her office, and then I just watch the kid, and I'm full on daddy daycare, and it's like awesome because when she takes naps, I'll noodle around with writing and things, but it's good to have an actual it's a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a job with responsibility that you can't shirk.
Right.
Not that you would, but it's like it's a thing that's like it's a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's a good one to have. So hey, check out my tattoo.
Look at this.
It's my kid.
There's no getting rid of this.
Yeah, right now he's playing Minecraft on his Nintendo Switch and also simultaneously watching Gravity Falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Good
these kids today with their screens.
Yeah. Oh, I've learned I have to sneak looks my laptop and phone, and if I'm watching TV, I have to sit down facing the other way. It's like I'm trying to keep her off that drug for as long as humanly possible. The wall will fall, but for now it's just a light up thing that she stares at, and I'm like, got to turn your little head the other way.
It's you think to yourself, it's like, I'll just tell him not to watch TV. He doesn't need to watch any of that stuff. But if you were a kid and you had never seen TV before, you would be watching it constantly.
Oh yeah, and
I can't blame these kids one second for anything.
No, and the hard and fast rule of childhood is do exactly what they tell you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Like, forbidden fruit will always be the sweetest. That's why we have all these right-wing politicians that are anti-gay that get caught at orgies. Like that guy in Turkey caught climbing a wall, running away from a busted orgy, and was like this most anti-gay politician. It's like, part of me thinks those guys get into that, like being that politician, because it's like, oh, it's me so hot when I have sex with a dude again. When like, he knows who I am, and we got a secret, and like it's just so bad.
And then the flash goes off.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, I heard whirring.
Damn it.
Oh, not whirring.
I was so excited by the idea of getting caught, and now that I'm caught, it's not hot anymore. It's not.
Yeah. Oh wow, fluorescent lights in prison make my pores look huge.
Shit.
I don't like it. I can't pee in front of other people, especially when they're beating me with something.
When I'm being hit with a pillowcase full of soap, it's hard to pee.
Yeah, getting a blanket party.
I forgot that's what it was called.
Oh yeah, I love blanket party.
Blanket party.
You know, when I was in the Navy, I don't know if you know that or not. I was in the Navy for 2 months. I was in boot camp, and I got kicked out. It was great. But when
2 months, that's a better version of my true thing. I played football in high school for almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I worked at McDonald's for 2 months too. I think 2 months is anything with 2, like 2 weeks, 2 months.
Yeah.
It's all base. But I was in this unit that was cleaning up around the base, and we had to clean up after a party. When somebody gets promoted to a chief petty officer, they have this huge nasty party, and we had to clean up after it. And it was like they had this game show set up, and it was everything like with a wheel you would spin and 3 urinals that were like the contestant podiums, and everything was just covered in vomit. Everything had vomit on it.
Oh,
never forget it. Anyway,
that's brutal.
Yeah.
And it was in the Navy, so it's just
they have weird. That's where I learned the term blanket party. But
okay.
it was they had all sorts of weird rituals. I mean, not weird, but it was
Sure.
sailor stuff. Like when you cross the equator, everybody fucks a llama.
Yeah, but who hasn't done that? I mean, I'm like that when I go to Wyoming. Just when I cross the state line, but a sheep.
They're so tender.
But it was all men, though, right? If you're in a boot camp,
there were women, not in the training facilities, but in the actual Navy, there were plenty of women.
Oh, sure, but would they be at that party then?
I don't think so. I think they had strippers. It was very old timey, like McHale's chewing cigars out of the corner of your mouth type stuff.
Got it.
I imagine everything in black and white. Hats were sideways.
Sure.
It's just brutal amounts of drinking.
Who was that writer on Mad TV? I'm blanking. You worked on Mad TV for a long time. I worked on.
Yes, we're Mad TV
alums. But very tall, man's man. Was in the Marines, I believe. He's a writer on the show. Black hair. He wrote with Katie Dippold.
Was it? That might have been after my time. Was it Rob Riggle? Was it?
No, it wasn't Riggle, but he was a Riggle-ish kind of guy. He was like that. He'd been in the military a long time. Anyway, he told me this time, he was sober, but he told me this time back in the barracks where there's just like they're in like this hallway, sitting on benches. They're about to go on leave or something, and they're sitting around, and someone has, hey, I got coke, and they're like, yeah, and they all do cocaine. They're like, this is awesome, and it's like 20 guys, all straight on coke, like they're just like, this is great. Like, no, this fucking sucks, man.
No, unless there's a Corvette around that we can flip down the highway. This is gonna get bad.
Unless there's something we can set on fire that's nearby. Yeah.
That Corvette.
Yeah, there you go.
I have some aviation fuel.
What's been buoying your spirits these days? What have been occupying you in a happy, positive way lately?
I've been okay. I'm bummed not being able to go out to restaurants and stuff, but I've been sort of upbeat. It comes in waves, you know how it is, I think.
Yeah.
You're just tired of being trapped and tired of it being extended by people who are acting very petulant and childish. And, and just the vaccine will come. It's nice that I can batten down the hatches like I could when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, but I'm not letting my guard down. I think that's what is gonna hurt a lot of people is you're just gonna get used to it and make mistakes.
No, I mean I was just thinking about that today. That's kind of where I've been reaching my, thresholds in terms of anger, in terms of just like what other people are doing to fuck it all up, and how I think people just they collectively reached a point. I mean, the fact that the numbers exploded before Thanksgiving, like I expected them to explode post for sure. Because people are gonna they're still gonna do the Thanksgiving gatherings with multiple people and all that shit. But when it blew up before, I was like, oh, so you guys just hit fall and went, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go to this crowded bar. I'm just gonna go.
We're gonna all sign our yearbooks. Summer's over.
It's over.
We're going back to work, back to school, back to
Mhm.
Crunch, back to the miniature golf course, back to the pit of balls at the IKEA and McDonald Play Place.
As a country, we're all that guy who keeps blaming his horrible hangovers on like the margarita mix he drank.
Oh man, I had those shrimp. Why I ate those shrimp? No, it was the 9 peach schnapps you had. No man, no, I had shrimp.
And
I get those
I shouldn't have mixed beer with gin and rum. That was the problem. Well, maybe because you had 8 of each of those. Maybe that.
Yeah, the fact that you're mixing the tequila and then the rum, and then the shrimp. Why did I have the shrimp? Oh, man. Why did I let you talk me into those? And then the next day, you're obviously blisteringly hungover. Oh man, I didn't drink enough water. All day long, I didn't think I have enough water.
Everyone else had the shrimp. You're all. I'm picturing like a Chinese restaurant with a lazy Susan. Everyone's eating all this delicious food, and this one guy who just keeps just horking down Mai Tais and different cocktails. And just slow down, Roger.
Hey man, the poo-poo platter has a flame in the middle. It's so awesome. You know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna try some of these shrimp. Oh man, why'd you let me get those shrimp? These things are in foil. I'm gonna eat 9 of those. No, don't eat the foil, dude. How are my fillings?
I love the idea of a guy who keeps blaming his hangovers on like the shrimp he ate.
Oh, on the ride over, I got a big grab of Cool Ranch Doritos at a gas station, and they just tasted old, and I had a weird headache, and then I had 4 doers. That's
why I threw up on my fiance and shit myself while I was sleeping. Wait, hold on.
Might have been the other way around, but it all worked out in the end.
Wait, the Cool Ranch did that? I don't know.
It was either that or the shrimp.
Your guess is good as mine, man. Look, all we all know it wasn't my drinking.
The bananas that was in that thermos of daiquiris were weird. They were so weird. Had a weird thing. And I had some Chinese gum. They said, just eat the paper on it, man. And I ate the paper. It was weird.
You drank a thermos full of daiquiris? Why did you make a thermos?
I thought we were going up to the canyon.
I was pre-gaming it, man. Come on. Thought we're gonna. You said something about drunk construction. No one said drunk construction.
Needed something to pound in the Uber. Have you taken any sort of public transportation? Do you go out? What's your going out schedule? Do you go to the grocery store? Do you go to coffee shops? Anything like that?
I'll get coffee in the morning. Maybe every 3rd day of the week or something. I usually just make it at home, but we like going out with the baby before Kara has to start working, and then but at supermarket, sometimes we'll Amazon Fresh order much more in the pandemic. But sometimes we'll just go and make a run. But I haven't gone to the grocery store more than once a week this whole time.
Okay.
And I kind of time myself. It's like a friend of mine hates malls, and he was like, when I go to a mall to get something, it's like a surgical strike. I just know where I'm going. I've mapped it out. Like that's kind of how I am at the supermarket. Like I don't dawdle. I guess this, and I go. But that's kind of it. We haven't eaten out. I mean, when we actually drove across the country about 2 months ago to see the in-laws so they could see Rose, who were quarantining, and we got there and got tested, and we live with them.
Okay.
And we went to it's a small Massachusetts town, and there's a bar there that has like tables out in the parking lot that are all 6 feet apart. So we get a drink there sometimes or get some nachos, but like that's the only
interaction with people,
dining out. We've had. Otherwise it's just been just takeout. What about you guys?
We'll do drive-throughs and stuff occasionally.
Okay.
I'll do a grocery run. She'll do a grocery run. Order, and I'll go pick stuff up. I get coffee in the morning. If I do anything, I try to do it super early in the morning before people get there.
Oh,
Because
smart.
because you know what it's like. I get up before my kid, and also I'm old now, so I get up at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, even if I don't want to.
Sure.
It's the best. But it's like I can get out and get stuff done before anybody fills up or spreads their COVIDs. Before Rudy Giuliani shows up and farts everybody full of a disease.
Hey,
That he gave it her tour with farts.
He's a guy we thought was a national treasure back in 9/11.
Oh man,
I was skeptical then, but now I know he is. He really is going. He's going down in a as you put, a fart of glory. It's just everything. It's like the Price is Right, like boop boom boop boom, the boop.
wow.
Like it follows him. That sound follows him, where everything from his hair color dripping down his
The
face,
thing melted. Yeah,
going into a room on the Borat movie with an actor who's claiming to be underage and help me tuck my shirt in. Like, oh my God, man!
any one of those things. If I had done one of those things, I would have been mortified unto suicide. I would. Wow, what that what? Huh? I farted in a congressional hearing. I'm going to kill myself. What? I had hair dye dripping down my thing on television for 2 hours. I'm gonna cut my wrists. Cross to the hospital, down to the morgue.
I on camera threw myself into pedophilia.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's just the level of amateurish open mic incompetence going on with this the last 4 years. It really is. It's like being at a it's just amateur hour.
Oh yeah, I've often thought how fucked we would be if they had any kind of real presence or plan. Or
no professionalism, it's like,
No.
and I'm not pro right side at all, but when I was growing up, there was at least a level of professionalism and people that knew what they were doing. Even George Bush knew how the government worked.
Right.
Like they knew how the government worked, and now it's just like the Bundys taking over that wildlife refuge.
And they're not, except they're not funny, and like the
Bundys were pretty funny.
Pretty funny. Come on, but it's just not to get political, but it's kind of just like a cartoon version of the Tea Partiers. They're all like, wait, you haven't read anything ever? Not even what your job is, or a book? Wow. Okay.
Hey, you think you're incompetent? Watch it. Watch this. It's dupes of dupes of dupes. It's when you make a copy and then you make a copy of that. You make a copy of that. It just gets more and more out of focus. Everything's one sort of, everything's diluted, and it's people fighting wars that were fought by people 3 generations ahead of them who have been dead.
Yes,
it's like this continuation of a grievance, like Hatfields and McCoys type shit. But now it's like there's a layer of sports, like American sports culture layered over it too. I think
we have pro wrestling, but the thing is, I feel like we all, even though we knew we were pretty intelligent, but us, the fucking clowns, we always thought we were the dopes, stand-up comedians and performers. And I'm not saying we're the smart ones, but holy fucking shit. I mean, like I talk to most comedians, it's just like, boy, I guess we should have been running shit, huh? Fuck.
Yeah, well, we had time and space to look at everything, and
that's true.
And of course we have all the answers.
Well,
and
these amazing insights and. But speaking of, I ask everybody who comes on the show this: do you get asked advice, Blaine?
Well, I am a doctor. So
Oh,
yes, I get yeah. So I'm all sorts of doctors, and so yeah, I get asked questions all the time, all sorts of questions for advice.
Okay. From friends or
It's in my head.
strangers? Oh, just in your head. Okay, good.
What should I eat?
There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. When you tell yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you and I have not heard these calls. Only Renee, the gatekeeper, the producer of the show, he holds them all. So
Maybe answer 3 questions. Very personal.
exactly. Was it that John Roy bit about if that bullshit about how if there's an undercover cop and you ask him he's a cop, he has to tell you. He's like, what the fuck is this? Like some is this like some out of a fantasy fairy tale or something? It's like, if you can answer these questions 3, then you can put the cuffs on me. Sorry, I memorized.
I hear John Roy's voice.
All right, Renee, roll the first call.
Howdy, Ding Donger. This is Evan. My advice I'm looking for is I find that when I cook for guests, I get overcritical of my own skills because I'm a pretty good cook. And when things turn out even 3% below what I'm shooting for, it just ruins my entire time. As well as I've noticed that if I do a potluck or some sort of like people bring food together thing, and people's food is so much less effort than mine, when they obviously were like proud of it, I get really judgy, which is really not healthy. So any help there would be nice on how to maybe not be a cynical butt. All right. I love you. Bye.
Love you too, man. Blaine, take it away.
I like that he ended with love. That's a good thing.
Sure.
I think just being aware of the fact that you judge others by not putting in the work, even though that the work that they put in might have been the best that they could do on sort of like a Radiohead song. So think about it, and maybe that'll make you sad a little bit, and the sadness will make you want it to go away until you'll fix that. But it sounds like you're like a lot of comedians and writers and people that I know in general that like to judge themselves too harshly and get overcritical about stuff that they're good at. When other people are like, "Hey, you cooked! I just made these shitty marshmallows." So and you made a potluck thing, or you have your shit together. Just cook and have fun. As long as people don't get botulism, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. That's it. It's people are. It's such a huge thing when people cook for you. That like speaking for myself, if someone cooks for me, I'm just like, oh my god, this is incredible. Like, thank you for making this effort. I doubt. That's why I always felt like my wife can't cook, or mom's such a terrible cook. It's insane. Like, is always such a hack vehicle in sitcom memorial, like every sitcom had that, where it's like, the roast is burnt black. Like, no one has ever done that. Like been in the kitchen and just let the shit out on fire. Like, sure, you chasing the kid around the house or something like that. I burnt it. We can't eat it. Sorry. But
maybe in the sitcom, if the wife is sitting in the corner crying,
right.
Maybe then.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening because she's on the phone.
No. Yeah. No. But it's just I've never eaten at someone's house and. We're growing up and being like, oh, this, I don't like that, this, but I was like, I had a child's palate. I wanted to be eating McDonald's. As an adult, I've never been over to someone's house. I'm just like, this is really bad or shitty, or, I think one of the terms that's been driving me really crazy and annoyed lately, because I hear it so much, is don't let perfect get in the way of good. But it's true. If you forgot to put the cardamom in, no one's going to know.
Yeah, it's they're just glad that you were thoughtful enough to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that you're thoughtful enough to cook, and learn to take a compliment.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I've been him many times where I've just been cooking and I forgot. There's like one thing I was gonna do special that I'm like, I forgot it. Fuck. And what I'll do is I'll let myself have a dumb little tantrum. You know, maybe I'll yell "fuck" or something, but then it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna. He sounds like he lets himself stay angry or disappointed with himself the whole dinner party. It's like,
got to let that out.
yeah.
You're allowed to be human. Everybody's allowed to be human, but just
Exactly.
get it out of your system and then get back to being a professional.
I wonder if he's attempting hard stuff though, like, you know, beef Wellington or, you know, perfectly cut sashimi or something.
Yeah, it also depends on if you're it sounds like you know what you're doing, but don't overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple is better. Like those new Pop-Tarts with the simple ingredients. Have you had those? Oh man, they're great.
Oh, we get those almost every time we go to the supermarket. It's I feel like it's a marvelous lie because it's just as much sugar and everything, but I'm just like,
yeah,
but it's natural. So it's fine. I've always maintained that you know, that you know, that old line, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing us people who didn't exist. Now, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was trail mix, because that's the greatest lie we've ever given ourselves. Like, it's healthy. You take it on a trail. There's nuts and there's raisins. Yeah, there's also yogurt covered raisins and there's M&Ms. Shut up. You know, like,
yeah, it's complete sugar. Yeah, it's got Skittles in it. They're all natural. There's grape. Grape is natural. Apple's natural.
There's a whole Three Musketeers bar in here. It's not even cut up. Just a whole.
Three Musketeers are natural. It's three human beings.
I mean, anytime I'm if I'm working on something or shooting, like, go right to craft services, get my little paper coffee cup full of trail mix, go back to my trailer. Like,
I like the I can't think of the name. It's the Japanese candy, and it tastes so much exactly like real grapes. It's frightening. I can't think it. Wow. Haichu. Haichu grape tastes exactly like Concord grapes.
Yep.
Would recommend 5 stars.
Look, the Japanese are flavor champions. Everyone knows it.
They are.
Everyone knows it. Yeah. So that's another, to pile on our other advice, cook something Japanese. Just not perfectly cut sashimi.
And not the shrimp. Oh, God, man. Oh, man. I still can't even think about it. Oh, man, I had it nice and flushed. I got all pink like a pistachio. I rubbed pistachios on my face.
I mean, I
threw up hives.
So hard. One of my eyes almost came out, and it was so bloodshot. Look, my wife won't talk to me. You got to tell her that it was the shrimp.
I threw up so bad I had shrimp in my nose. Came out of my nose. It was up there for like a couple of days. Ugh.
Look, my wife was like, I really want to talk to you, and I turned away, and I coughed, and I shit on her. Look, we were in bed. You got to tell her it was the shrimp, man. She says I have a drinking problem. It's just the shrimp.
Yeah, okay? I don't have a drinking problem. I'm not allergic to the drinking, but the shrimp, I think I'm allergic to the shrimp. Anyway, where's the DoorDash guy with those mimosas? It's almost 10 in the morning.
DoorDash. Where's the DoorDash guy with my mimosa bucket?
Yes. Oh man, top of the morning for shrimp. Shrimp checks.
Should I try it? Should I try shrimp again?
Yeah, man. I know I'm going to go back. The siren call. But man, not today. I was so fucked up.
I can't wait to be in a bar with you again when all this is over. So I'm going to order something shrimp.
We're going to get so much shrimp. Oh man, I hope they don't have dirty backs. I learned that term, and now that's all I think about every time I see him.
Oh man, look, okay, fair. I hit 6 bars before I got here, but these shrimp that I just ate are why I pissed my pants just now.
Oh, whoops! It was also the thing why I just shit. Sorry, my kids climbing in on the refrigerator. Oh, Jesus!
Oh no, your wife got him. Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's playing by the oven now. It's all right.
Good.
Yeah, he's
Way better.
eating some light bulbs. He'll be all right.
Play in there. Okay, Renee, roll the second call.
Okay, so my mom was over and tried out our VR headset and decided to get one of her own. Very exciting, I thought. Then she starts playing some games and beats some of the easy high scores that I had set, and then calls me to talk shit about how she beat all of my high scores. So I immediately get on and decimate every one of her scores, and my fiance thinks that I'm being an asshole. I think that it was all fair game as soon as she started bragging without any suggestion that I had beaten her score. She just started bragging. So am I an asshole?
Huh. First thing that comes to mind is probably no, because if your mom's talking shit, I feel like she's dishing it out. She can take it. Maybe you shouldn't have let it get to you so much that your mom destroyed your easy high scores, and you had to go back and wipe her off the map. But I don't know. Maybe it's a close call, but I'm gonna go no asshole. What do you think, Blaine?
Yeah, I don't think you're an asshole on this one. I think it was cute that your mom erased your high scores. Maybe you should have set some higher scores the first time. I think it's cool that your mom got into it, and I think it's a fun little competition that you guys will have for the rest of your life or until the end of your relationship. But yeah, I don't think you're an asshole at all. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. Just don't let it get too weird.
Yeah, where you're
remember your adults.
Insane rivalry.
Yeah, and also if your girl was a girlfriend or wife.
Wife, right?
I think so. Either way, if she wants you to back off.
That's a good call too. Yeah, I can't say enough about the guiding force that is my wife in terms of when to do and especially when to not do a thing.
Mm-hmm. Know when to lay out.
That's it. Do you play video games at all?
Yeah, on and off a little bit. My kid does now, so I don't get into it. If I do, I'll get a game and play it for a week and then walk away from it.
I never. Yeah, it peaked in my childhood. I have a lot of friends who are into it. It's just never been my thing.
I love it. They're amazing. They're fun when I play. I don't have a current new system that really works. Like I said, he's got a Nintendo Switch, which is a lot of fun. I played Donkey Kong Country on it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's I don't play online. I don't like playing online.
No, me neither. I don't like the Wild West of it.
Yeah, I like being in my own head.
Yeah, someone that showed me, this kind of like World War II thing where they're all on it and you're just shooting each other and everyone's talking trash, and I'm just like, yeah, that looks like hell to me. That doesn't look fun at all.
I'm sure if you do it with the right people, like I remember like Ken Daly and Brian Posehn, like there's a whole group of people. They would meet at Paget Brewster's house, and she would have systems set up all over the place. Oh. And people would be all over her house and playing on the same system. And I'm sure that would be a goddamn delight.
Yes.
That would be like watching Clue, But if you're just doing it with strangers, then it just degenerates pretty quick and weird.
Yeah. And plus, you're just getting murdered by children over and over and over, which is
and it's like scoring on your mom.
There you go.
But you're like a 2-year-old kid, who's better than you.
Yes. Call back. All right. So hope that helps, man.
Yeah, hope it helps. Thanks for calling.
You have written some of the funniest stuff ever. And do you keep stuff in your head for like do you save super funny? I mean, you have to, that someone else has said or written or.
You mean jokes or sketches or? Just
more like jokes, like lines or whatever.
I just sort of I just write stuff when it comes out.
No. I
As
mean,
it
not
goes.
that you thought of, but like I collect other people's stuff. Not to say, but just to like remember. Like I just.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah, dozens and
knew-
dozens and hundreds of lines of other.
I knew we had
comedians
that
I
in
love.
common. You just reminded me of this. There was this show. I forget. It was like a Channel 101 show, and there's a line on it where this guy. It was a courtroom drama scene gone nuts, and there was a guy who was like a radio disc jockey, and he was like, was called on the one guy and was like, "You're caller number 3," and he was just like, "So you." If you can answer this question, he answered it correctly, and they're like, "You want $1,000?" He's like, "Yes." And the guy's like, "And what station is the station that gives you the rockin' cash?" And the other guy went, your station. Like that made me laugh so hard because it's like, I wish someone would have done that because all they want you to do is be their advertiser for once. We just gave you $1,000. Say the name of our station, and the guy won't. Your station.
Your station.
Like, I thought of you for that because I was like, that sounds like something Blaine would write. Like that's
Was that a Dan Harmon joint? That one? Do you remember?
probably
The Channel
I don't
101
know.
stuff.
Yeah, it was these two guys that didn't live in LA, but they would collaborate with other people. I think they were like, I forget where they were. Anyway, but yeah, just that line just cracked me up. Is there one that comes to mind for you that you were just thinking of?
Oh no, just
Okay.
No, sorry. I was just
No.
But now
Don't
I'm
worry.
thinking of Channel 101 and seeing those when they would do the live shows at the at
Yeah.
CineSpace.
Oh.
They were a lot of fun.
Those were great. I loved those shows. That was when I first moved to LA.
My favorite, the most memorable joke from all those cinephile or CineSpace shows from Channel 101 was a Dan Harmon thing. It was the medical drama. Do you remember the medical drama that they did?
Yes.
Sort of a serial. And in the opening credits, they have the three of them are looking at the camera, and they come at the camera faster than the camera can focus. And then the camera focuses, and it's just dumb shit like that makes me laugh so hard because it's so just try to be serious and the camera's trying to focus. It's so cheap and bad. And I know other people have done it, but man, it's funny. It's as funny as a guy out of breath trying to talk.
They were like the guys who I like in my mind were like, you guys aren't funny. You're not like, I'm with comedians. We know what's funny. And then I watched one screening. I was like, oh, they're as funny as us.
Yeah. Yeah. When I came down here from San Francisco, it was in '95. Patton and I moved down. And when we got hired on Mad TV, we worked on the pilot.
Oh, right.
Came down here, and it was like all these comedians that we knew from San Francisco and New York and Boston and whatever. But it was also all these other people from everywhere else, and they weren't all comedians. They weren't all stand-ups, but they were comedy people.
Uh-huh.
And it was like you couldn't put your finger on it. It was everybody was kind of comedy adjacent. But stand-ups were just like another slice of this big round pie chart.
Yes.
And then we would do shows at Diamond Club, this old club on the corner of Hollywood and La Brea, I think.
Mm.
And it was just, I remember seeing just comic after guy, girl after girl, just so funny, and like people I had never heard of before, never seen before, and none of them were comics. And I was like, I gotta up my game a little bit because everybody was so good. I mean, it was like David Cross and Odenkirk met there, and like Jack Black and Paul Tompkins with Jay Johnson and Mary Lynn. Just everybody was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely kind of hit a wall when I got to LA where I left Chicago and I thought we were all the best and we were great. But then it's like I definitely was intimidated when I came here. It's like I definitely had to work my way back up, you know?
Well, yeah, it's all the best people from other places come here.
Yes.
So but I remember all you Chicago guys, your wave was really, really good. Everybody was really, very funny.
It was a bit. I would say like the Chicago and then San Francisco scene were like the two, like, you know, the big ones that that kind of came to town for sure.
I'm not a rivalry guy. I just like funny people. Funny people.
Exactly. No, I love telling a comic to fuck himself or herself when they say a joke that I just love, you know, like after a show, fuck you for that one. But like I had Brent Terhune on here, and he does these videos of like disgruntled Trump people that film themselves in their car. He does
Yeah.
that, and
Okay.
it looks so real that people think it's real, and so people call him an idiot and shit. And he did when all those boats on Lake Davis sank that were like the Trump fleet, of like yachts, like they sank. And he did one guy who was just like, I lost my boat. Oh, the SS Margaritaville is gone. And like, I was like, that's so fucking good. I hate you. That's such a perfect boat. Ah, damn you. Anyway, but okay, so we got one last call.
Let's do it. This is fun. Hey, thanks for having me, Matt. This is a blast.
You're the best.
No, you're the best. I'll honk next time I see you on Hillhurst.
Please.
Hi, Matt. My husband and I listen to your show all the time. We love it. We live in Chicago, and I am a teacher, and he's a chef. And as you can imagine, life during the pandemic for everyone is really tough, but it's been hard for us. And my husband has listened to your podcast and kind of gobbled it up, and is starting therapy and is starting to handle his drinking problem. And I know that this is both of these are your podcast, and I'd love to just hear your thoughts about just how to get right about not drinking so much. And it's mostly secret drinking. It's like the stuff that you're hiding from your partner because you don't want to cope with the shit that you're dealing with at the moment. And that's the thing that's starting all the problems between the two of us in terms of like handling drinking. It's really just like the secret drinking stuff. I'm driving on 290 right now, and I'm like nervous leaving this message because we're such huge fans of yours, and you're so funny, and your show is really great. And I don't know if you know that this really does help people. So we love it. We love what you're doing. Bye.
What a dick. No, my God, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much for those kind words. It's beautiful that you guys both dig it, and that's so nice. I'm overwhelmed. Let's see where to start. The secret drinking thing. As soon as she said that, I was like, click. I knew exactly. It's that was like an indicator of any. Even speaking of Chicago, Blaine, like when we were back in those days. Kyle and me and Roy and all those guys. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. Like I was a waiter. I was a bartender. It was such a huge part of our DNA.
Yeah.
Not only drinking, but getting absolutely hammered. But you could always, there would be guys, I'm thinking of one guy now who has been, I think he's now like 20 years sober. He would sneak off and do shots by himself. And it was just like, we're already getting demolished. Why are you hiding? That was like, that's just, it's generally speaking, it's such an indicator that this person is treating it as a friend of mine would put it, as medicine rather than a celebratory thing,
Sure. Yeah. Like eating candy for lunch.
Yeah. Right.
Like it should be a treat or a job well done thing, something to unwind with. I think I can see exactly what she's talking about during the quarantine. If things are tough and you guys are at home and you're bored, it's easy to fall into a pattern like that gets destructive. And if it gets secret, I think maybe you should discuss why he would feel he would have to hide that from her.
Yeah.
And he's probably ashamed. Maybe he's embarrassed.
Sure.
Maybe he knows he doesn't want to get talked to or something. So I think, but we have another 9 months before we all get the vaccine, so you have plenty of time to talk.
It's so dark, but true. But I mean, it's
a slippery. I hate to say slippery slope, but it's an easy trail to stumble down, and it's hard to get back up because all the rocks are loose.
It's really true, and when it becomes something that you need, that's when you kind of gotta just kind of cut it loose, or scale down if you can.
Yes.
The way that I God, what, like couple of years ago, I didn't hit a wall, but I found that I was on the road and was being very indulgent in terms of alcohol, in terms of having like a lot of beers after the shows, and and it really wasn't like, it wasn't a secret thing. I made no, didn't hide it, but I was like, it was one of those things where I kind of hit a thing where I was like, why do I don't need to do this. I can just have a couple after the show with the staff or something, and then it's cool, once I kind of just admitted that to myself, that I was just basically medicating my loneliness and medicating my dissatisfactions with everything from my career to life to things I don't have any control over, numbing myself, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Then I scaled back, and it's like I've definitely had some drunk nights since then, but it's like it hasn't been anything where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go out on the road again, and I'll just see it as, let me just map out where all the good bars are before I even get to town. Let me hit a couple before the show, drink during the show, then hit them after the show, and the next day I kind of feel like shit, and I go to workout class to sweat out the toxins rather than to be in better shape or maintain or something. So it's like, so that was my version of what your husband is going through in my life. Maybe there's something like that where he can just have that clarity and go, I don't need this. If there is like a chemical thing, that's tougher. But the thing is, I think that the stigma in terms of going like, quitting is so fucking scary for most of us. Like never having a drink again. To me, honestly, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Well,
but it's that thing where even people that have been sober 20 years don't say that. They just say, no, I'm not going to have a drink today. That's why they say one day at a time. So I don't know. Just something to keep in mind. Go ahead.
Well, one thing that I remember, I used to smoke when I was in my 20s, whatever, and maybe into my 30s a little bit, but never as much as when I was young. But the stuff is poisonous, and I knew that that if I had said that I was going to quit, all I would think about is like, well, I could now. What if I had this? Why? What if I have? Yeah. So I didn't quit. I just don't smoke. And it's like, and it's more freeing, and it makes me feel more in control of myself. Like, I just don't smoke because I know it's dumb. And if I do smoke, I remember I had a cigarette. I was at a party and had a couple of tequilas in me or whatever. And I remember my sister-in-law was rolling up one of those drum cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
And it just smelled good, and I was in a good mood, and I was like, hey, give me a drag of that. And she rolled one up for me. And I remember I take a puff of it, and like a minute later, I'm sweaty and I want to throw up, and my head hurts. And I'm like, this is nicotine. It's a horrible drug. It's like a guy shot me with a neck dart because I was instantly like white as a sheet.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's like I used to smoke like a pack of those a day. I have my friend Mark Voice. He's a comedian. One of my oldest and dearest friends, a comedian from Baltimore. He smokes 2 packs of Cools a fucking day. He's stone cold sober, but he just smokes.
Yeah.
And it's like he leapt from one vice to a vice that he allows himself.
That's pretty common.
And I think we were talking about that before, like just allow yourself to be a little bit human and know you're gonna, problems. Oh, and can I say one more thing? If this guy is a chef and he's at home and he's not working, and he's drinking because of that, just don't be sad, and just know that this isn't going to be forever, and you will be working again soon, and you need to have your shit together when you start working. So think about your future when the wheels touch the runway and everybody gets off the plane. You don't want to be staggering around looking for a wastebasket to throw up in.
Yeah, you don't want to be rubbing your red eyes going, oh, the shrimp. Why'd I cook all those shrimp?
This fucking shrimp. Oh, brother, man. Oh, man.
Listen, goddamn shrimp. But, yeah, I mean, I hope that helps. I mean, honestly, you sound like a person who cares about him a great deal, and you want to do right by him, and he sounds great too. That's just such a the only time I heard of like secret drinking, where that wasn't like, oh, that's probably not a good sign, was this time. It's a guy who doesn't drink anymore, but he never really drank all that much. But he was like the reason I stopped is because anytime I got together with my extended family, like Thanksgiving, they really annoyed me. So I'd go in the basement fridge and I would just shotgun a whole beer, and then I would go join them. And I was like, I don't see any fucking problem with that. Like your extended family, that sounds like a nightmare to anyone.
Yeah.
Like I don't to fortify yourself. I don't like. I'm not saying everyone should do that, but if someone was just like, I just shotgun a whole beer in the basement, I'd be like, okay, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't blame you.
I don't.
There's probably no beers upstairs.
but the guy I was talking about, I remember, it's indicative because he would hide his drinking not from me, but from his girlfriend. We all worked at the same bar and restaurant, and like we were all done with our shift. We're having a drink after sitting at the bar, and we're gonna go to a bar, and we're just having some freebies at the bar we work at. We're about to go to another bar, and like she goes upstairs to use the bathroom, and he's like he'll be like, let's do a shot right now, and I'm like, dude, or he would just get one for himself. I mean, peppermint schnapps. For some reason, so many people I've known that had real stone problems would do a lot of peppermint
drink schnapps.
Just
Dude, can I
kidding.
tell you, when I was just out of high school, before I was even a comic, my friend Rick Spiker was getting married, and we had his bachelor party in my friend's garage. And we're all like 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Wait, what age was he getting married?
And he was 18. So
Whoa.
he was he was going into the Air Force. He was just
Okay.
straight into it. Anyway, we all got, I got loaded on straight peach schnapps, and we were eating peeled shrimp. That's the whole riff tonight was me thinking about.
Isn't it really?
Yeah, it came from the peach schnapps. I can't drink peach. Anything peach gives me the fucking willies.
Yeah.
But the peeled shrimp, and I was like, because I remember before the party I smoked a joint. I was because I'm not gonna drink. I don't want to drink. And I got there and I ended up having like 3 or 4 straight peach schnapps, just tumblers. And then the wedding was the next day, Matt. It was the worst, because the other guys kept drinking all night. And I'm sorry if I'm babbling, but one of the guys, they were all head splittingly hungover. Just me too, just fucking nightmarish. And the wedding party is up on the mantle of whatever you call it at the church. They're all standing up there, and the one guy had his face was bright red from trying to scrub off the magic marker dicks they had drawn all over him. So he was like, and they were still there, and he was all like bright red, rub raw, but they were still on him. And he's in a church with dicks on his. Everybody wants to throw up. Just everybody wanted to throw up. I threw up. It was great. It was the first wedding I ever went to where they threw birdseed instead of rice, and they said, "Oh yeah, because rice is bad for birds, then the birds can eat it. Isn't that great? Oh, that's terrific." throw up in a bush.
What an insightful! You threw your fingers into your sleeve.
Yeah, the unexpected. Sometimes it's relaxing. When you're vomiting like that, it's like, this feels good.
Oh, wow.
Gosh.
That felt like, it's like Rose, my daughter, when she'll I drink a whole bottle of milk and then that huge belch, and then just all this milk comes out, and it's just like, you can see the look on her face of like, oh, that's the stuff. It's that same thing.
Yeah, my ear popped.
Oh, I just cracked my neck in a wonderful way. Oh, my back. Well, thanks for coming on the show, man. This was fantastic.
Matt, thank you for having me. It's delightful to see you. I'm glad you're doing well, and
You too, buddy.
and congratulations on your daughter. You're going to be a great dad.
Thank you, dude. That means a lot. Thank you, man. Hey, honestly, thanks so much for listening to This Might Help. If you have any need for advice and you would like to be on the show, it's totally anonymous. No one leaves their names. Just call and leave a message at 323-763-0228. Again, that's 323-763-0228. Thanks.
This Might Help with Matt Bronger was created and hosted by me, Matt Bronger. Produced by Outer Circle Media. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.